Welcome to MMA Fancast. My name is Luke Payson. Welcome back to everyone who's already a subscriber to the channel. If you're not already a subscriber, please subscribe so you can see more great interviews, including the one coming at you right now with not only a Pittsburgh MMA legend, but a former UFC fighter who once got Knockout of the Night award in the UFC and also Underdog Winner of the Year award for being the largest spread with a win. Really exciting stuff. Always great to have former 247 Fighting Championships professional MMA champ, first professional MMA champ. The list goes on and on and on. One of the most handsome men you will ever meet, Khama, the DeathStar Worthy. Khama, I got a smile out of you. Welcome to the show, buddy.
Thanks for having me, boss.
Always great chatting with you. I remember when I first started helping MMA Fancast with Jim Mooney, one of the first interviews I ever did with you. I think it was the first interview I ever did with you. It was over phone, but we had a video component, although back then we were only doing the podcast side. You had your baby daughter who was maybe 3 to 6 weeks old at the time, and now I think she's 5 or 6.
Yeah, she's a buddy. She's sitting right down here. Come here, Marley.
Yeah, there's Marley. Exactly. Welcome to the show, Marley. Hi, Marley.
Hi, I'm just making the things with the line thing.
All right, Marley. Very nice to see you. And now here she is. So it's always great having you on the show. I forgot in my fun intro to point out that you are one half of the main event of 247 Fighting Championships, Brawl in the Burgh 22, coming to people live on pay-per-view or in person at the Monroeville Convention Center on June 29th. That to me is super exciting. I had you on before and after your most recent fight, which was very kind of you. It was your return to MMA fight. You talked a lot. We talked a lot about physical rehab, your big left full hip replacement that you got, how good you're feeling, how good you were feeling going in, and then coming out of a very tough fighter. You looked great throughout. What's it like to be headlining another card back to back? Because these are 2 cards in a row, and now there's a 21.5 events stuck in there. But what are your thoughts going into this fight, and how good do you feel to get on a roll here?
Yeah, I feel good, man. I'm just ready to just get back to work. Like I said, the last fight, I didn't really take any damage or anything, so I just got right back to work. And the weights, it's summertime, so it's easier to maintain the weight and stuff. It's hot as hell. Like I did 10 rounds today. I think I lost like 7 pounds. Like, so you just lose weight just training organically. You don't have to hit the sauna or anything. So the weight cut and everything will be super easy. So I'm just ready to go out there and do what I do best.
And I recently got to talk to your opponent, Chris Rocket Rollins, who was actually on the show before his last fight against somebody I believe you know, Ethan Hayes. What do you think of him? He was on this show talking about this fight. A lot of respect for you because of your UFC and legendary status. But he pointed out that you guys combined, you're both around 30 pro MMA fights. So combined, you have 62 pro MMA fights. And he was saying on this show that he felt like that alone makes this a worthwhile fight. Both you guys are very experienced. You don't get a lot of fights at the regional level where both guys have a combined record of 62 pro fights. So what are your thoughts on how experienced your opponent is and how much experience both of you have coming into this fight?
Oh yeah, I mean he's been around. He's tough. Like he's super tough guy. I never heard of him until the Ethan fight. Cause Shaka, my brother actually fought on one of his cards at one of his shows and stuff. But yeah, he's a tough opponent. He's done some pro boxing, so I think he'll definitely be here to bring the fight and make it fun and interesting and stuff. But as in like the same, like the fights and stuff, like we've had definitely had the same amount. It's just they're just different kind of fights. I mean, I don't know. I think just different level and pairs to fights and stuff and different things. So yes, we both had a lot of fights and stuff, but I just don't think he's quite where he needs to be able to hang with me. But I do think he's tough. I think he's very, very durable, very, very tough. But that's probably about it.
No, that makes perfect sense. Yeah. And who you fight matters. Obviously, I respect Chris Rocket Rollins because it appears that he's tried to take every fight he possibly could, you know, as far as his career goes.
Yeah,
But
he's not a bitch. Now, that's the biggest thing. That's the thing you can't teach. You can't teach that in the fight game because he's definitely like he takes on fights, he takes them head on, and that's what I like. So I was super excited when they actually made this fight happen. Stuff. I was like, all right, yeah. Especially when he fought Ethan, I left before he talked, and freaking Justin Patton was like, oh, you should fight the dude who just fought Ethan, because he said he wants a tough fight. So I didn't hear him say that at the end of the fight. So I had already left. So I was like, oh, all right, well, that's a big fight. He has a lot of experience. Like it's still like I think it would be a good fight, and I think he'll have some trick up his sleeves and stuff. But I don't think he's gonna be able to show me anything I've never seen before.
certainly, and I think both of you guys have a lot of that experience. You have 5 UFC fights that obviously not many people, not Chris, not many people on the regional scene have 5 UFC fights, 2 wins, and are still fighting. Now, you mentioned, and this is cool, you mentioned that your brother Chaka fought on Chris Rocket Rollins, which is Rocket Combat,
Right.
Combat Promotions. What did you think of his card, and how cool do you think it is? Because you're a gym owner of Pittsburgh Academy. He's a gym owner of Rocket Boxing and a promotion. So that's kind of a cool thing that you guys both have established yourself on the business side. What did you think of his promotion? I believe out of Virginia. I believe it's in Virginia. What did you think of his promotion?
Yeah.
What do you think of Pro Fighter?
It was a good promotion. Like I think it was a good promotion. Like I can't. As long as they're not like fucking doing ignorant shit to promotion, I think all promotions are. I've very seldom have I like fought or had amateurs fight for a promotion that were like really, really crazy, like bad. It was a good promotion and stuff. Yeah, so I can't really say anything bad about it.
Cool. Yeah, it's just cool that he's doing multiple things. Now, to you, we talk about your little ninjas every time you're on the card. Not only your daughter, who just joined the show, who's a little ninja by being your daughter, but in your gym, you know you're the head coach, owner, and trainer at Pittsburgh MMA Academy. What's it been like with those kids? How's the developing classes going, and how's it going back to back training camps while still obviously being so involved with your gym?
It's fucking stressful. What do you think?
That's why I asked
I
it.
said a bad
baby.
word. I know I said a bad word. My daughter said you said a bad word. No, it's
Yes, he did, Marley. Yes, he
everything.
did. Oh no, Eddie said a bad word.
It's good, man. Like I was screaming at the kids today because I'm officially like hard back into camp and stuff. And I was getting a little. I get on everyone hard. I get on the rest of the fight team. I get on the students. I get on everyone knows like it's good. Like it's summertime. Like you want to get pushed and stuff. And like I got a couple of kids. Like right now during the summer, kids have been gone for a little bit. They come back. The school's about to get out. You know, other sports are setting out, so they're coming back and stuff. So it's a good feeling. I like being in fight camp, especially when I'm in fight camp. It adds a different vibe to the gym, a little bit more aggressive. You know what I mean? So everyone likes it. Like everyone, oh my god! Even my fitness class is like, oh my god, he's in fight camp again. Because I'm like, when I'm in fight camp, I'm turning it up. So we're all turning it up together. So it's a good feeling.
And I'm sure you are stressed. I can only imagine being a business owner, much less all the things you're doing as a dad, as a coach, as a business owner, and as a professional MMA fighter. So you have a really good way of handling it, even if there's times you get grumpy. I'm sure you still have a great way handling it with all that.
Yeah, I get to hit people for a living. I mean, like technically, like tonight, like I said, I got 10 rounds tonight. Like that's a stress reliever. I'm like, all right, you get to punch people for a living. You come home, you're all good. Like, I mean, fighting is hard, and running a fight gym it's tedious, but it's not really hard. I get to do what I love. Of course, you have the bad days where people irritate the shit out of you and stuff. That's with any job. Like you could be a porn star and have bad days. Like it's just the way it is. But yeah, I mean, like. But for the most part, yeah, it's a fun job. I get to do what I love. I love going to the gym. I love training. I love helping people get better and stuff, and so on and so on.
Yeah, you really do. And I remember when you were kind enough to come on this show and talk about your retirement about a year and a half ago, when obviously it was more of a medical issue. You've since talked about your hip, but you really shared it. I'm sure that's still your passion. You really shared about your desire to grow your gym, grow coaching. You care about people. You want them to develop not just as fighters. Obviously, your brother Chaka is a pro fighter, but also as people. And I remember Coach Beilman. I don't know if he's even still alive. That coached me in basketball when I was 6 years old. Shout out to Coach Beilman. He really taught me to love learning, love challenging yourself. 6-year-olds in basketball, 6-year-olds in any
Exactly.
sport is a nightmare. Anybody that's coaching
Right.
6-year-olds, God bless you, because it's an
Right.
nightmare. I
It is.
used to in a game during a 6-year-old basketball game, I used to run the length of the court, and because my jerseys were like shiny and slippery, and then I would belly flop onto the court and slide,
Yeah.
thinking
And
I
he
was
probably just
Superman.
be like, "Oh my
Oh yeah,
God,
yeah.
what are you doing?"
He'd be like, "Oh no, not again, Luke! Get up, follow the ball, Luke." It was hilarious. But I still
Yeah,
appreciate him for anybody that can wrangle 6-year-olds. So I know you do that
that's
with
I
MMA.
had the little ninjas today, and they were just giving me the work today. I'm like, "Yo, what is up with you guys?" And it's fun. Like it's fun, and it's challenging. You know what I mean? But it's fun. It's for the most part, they're just testing their boundaries. That's just what kids do. Like, and then like they like you said, you set them up to make you learn how to respect, and then like as they get slightly older, like past like 7 or 8 and 9, then they start to appreciate it and start to go harder and stuff. And then there's some younger kids that pick it up and gets really focused as they're younger and stuff. So I like it. The parents at my gym, they love it. Like the kids, they're respectful and stuff. So they just that's basic what they all want and stuff. So it's
Sure.
always fun.
Yeah, absolutely. It's fantastic with sports. Good coaching, because bad coaching
Yeah.
can really make a kid even worse at 6 or 7.
Oh God, oh yeah.
Yeah. Good coaching can really make a big difference, really, in any sport. So shout out to you and all the coaches, my coaches, and anybody that put up with me or you during your career. What are your thoughts specifically? This event was always going to be huge. Originally, Brawl in the Burgh 22 was going to be at the great event center at the Hollywood Casino at the Meadows, but it outgrew that. It outsold that. Then they moved it to Monroe Convention Center. Then they had so much interest in so many matches that they actually put a card before your card. Now you are
Right.
the Burgh 22. They now have Brawl in the Burgh 21.5 that they just announced today. What are your thoughts about how explosive and how big June 29th has now become? You now capping what's going to be maybe a 25 fight day, including Muay Thai, first ever Muay Thai inside the 247 cage.
I'm like, they're just lucky Greg Sarap ain't the commissioner no more. Greg Sarap would have shut all that shit down. He would be like, "Get the fuck out of here. This shit's not happening." Y'all would have been there now. I would have loved to sit down and hear Greg Sarap. Y'all trying to explain that shit to Sarap. He would have been like, "You out of your mind." I would have been a fly on the wall just listening. No, but it's definitely groundbreaking. Like they've done it before, but they have the Muay Thai. And they have everything. I think it'll be a lot of fun. Yeah, it sucks. We have a couple of guys that we just couldn't get onto the car. Like Craig, he's just busy working. There's some stuff. I had another fighter that I was trying to get an amateur fight for, didn't see him pro, and he was supposed to go in the car, and then it turns out he had to be in a wedding. So, but everyone that's available, I'm putting them on the cars. It'll be a lot of fun. Like my little brother's on the first card, so it's good to see him back in the cage on MMA fight. So I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, it changed the momentum in the gym. It changed the feeling in the gym. It changed really the whole feeling in Pittsburgh MMA general, because there's so many people. You go down the Stouts and the Map Factory and Southside Boxing. There's so many people from all around there are going to be fighting on this card. So it's a good feeling. Everyone's getting in work right now.
Yeah, and you're a part of that Pittsburgh versus the world mindset. You're a gym owner, but you mentioned 3 or 4 of the other big gyms in the area, and you and many, many others from Stout, Mat Factory, of course, a big one that has that mindset, whose co-main eventing is the general himself, Justin Patton, and you from different gyms, train together a lot, but still have the mindset that it's Pittsburgh versus the world. It's just a really cool mindset to have, how united, even though gyms still occasionally fight each other and gyms in Pittsburgh still have, some reputation and all those type things. It's great to see how it really is Pittsburgh versus the world. Officially, when Greg Sarap, the former commissioner of Pennsylvania, retired, Ryan Middleton, Hunter Homestack, and Jim Mooney, everybody that officially works for 247 Fighting Championship, wished him a very wonderful and happy retirement. So no hard will to Greg. He actually did a lot to allow MMA to happen.
Greg?
But to your
Oh
point,
no, let me. I'm gonna let this be known real quick. Greg and me were boys. I never
I
had a
know he
problem with Greg.
was.
He always
He
loved
did.
me. I would never miss weight or nothing or
Oh,
come with no bullshit. But I've seen Greg chew out some people. I just be sitting there like, yo,
I've seen
Dad,
it.
what did you do to Greg?
Oh yeah, Greg
But
had, yeah. Oh,
he's never been anything but respectful for me since beginning of training and stuff. So I just know he's a firecracker, man. He's
oh,
a
he
unique
really,
individual.
he really is. He really is. And we wish him all the best. But one of the cool parts about Greg, who was there for I think close to 30 years, is he allowed MMA to exist in Pennsylvania.
Right.
There was times where that wasn't allowed in New York and some of the other states. And so it is cool. The current commissioner, I thank him. I think he's allowing promotions to grow a little bit, with unique events like you
The
mentioned.
kickboxing, the Muay Thai stuff, that's different. You couldn't do that before, so that's different. I think it's Pittsburgh finally just catching up. I think it'll be good. I think MMA fighters should start doing a lot more kickboxing and boxing shows. And I think if MMA shows mix them together like they can now, fighters will do that. Your MMA fight didn't come through. Oh, I'll just take a kickboxing match. And I think it'll just make more combat sport, and it'll progress and give people more of an understanding of what to do and stuff like that. So.
Exactly. You have a great point. Your brother was most recently seen in the 247 cage in one of the Sprawl events, which was a cool idea that they've now done several times where, okay, this established MMA fighter like your brother can now do pro no-gi and vice versa and back and forth and all types of stuff. Very, very cool. Super excited. Do you want to throw out a prediction given kind of you back in the cage, main event, huge night? Do you want to throw out a prediction versus Chris Rocket Rollins, or do you want to say why people should tune in either in person at 247fighting.com and get tickets to support you, pick your name and come to the show, or directly from you or anybody at your gym, or get the pay-per-view on 247 Live app that they can download on any smart device? Do you want to hear a prediction or why people should come out to see your main event?
I'm just gonna do the same shit that I always do. If you're in front of me, I'm gonna put you out. If you make it that I can't put you out, I'll chase you and try to put you out. But I'm going out there to do the finish fights and entertain people constantly. If you need tickets, I actually have physical tickets. I'm like this. Get the tickets off me in person. Come get your tickets. I'll get them to you. I got some t-shirts coming, and if you're looking to sponsor me, you want your company name on my butt cheeks, hit me up. Let me know. Eighth Wonder of the World, aka my back end. Your company can be right there. Let your boy know.
Well, there's not much I can say after that. Who wouldn't want to be on the eighth wonder of the world, Khama, the DeathStar Worthy's rear end? That is quite the expression. I cannot wait for play-by-play commentary, legendary commentary for 247 Ryan Kavanaugh to hear this, because shout out to him. He checks out me in prep. I guarantee you he makes a reference to your rear end being the eighth wonder of the world during your fight. So
I'm pretty sure my wife thinks, baby, you think it too? My rear end, my butt, eighth wonder of the world. She's around here, baby.
Nicole has to
she's
say
smiling. She's smiling. She's smiling. Yeah.
As your wife, she's contractually obligated to agree with you. But yeah, that was, man, it's always fun having you on. There's a lot of fights that haven't been announced yet, particularly for the 21.5 card. There's been 7 pro fights announced for your card. Still more to be announced for both. People really need, in addition to liking my channel, which I've already plugged, like the Pittsburgh MMA Academy Facebook page. You guys put a lot up there, as well as the 247 Fighting Championship Facebook page and all their social media. A lot going on, a lot happening. You can also download the 247 Live app. Even if you don't buy anything through there, there's a lot of free material on there, a lot of interviews and stuff that they do, which is fantastic on their own podcast. Always incredible when I can have the DeathStar on the show. Hope to have your brother soon on the show as soon as his fight is officially announced. Shout out to Chaka. He's a great guy. Can't wait to have him back on. Best skills to you and everybody on the event. This is the show to absolutely get to in person. Watch both shows back to back. Get to Marvovo Convention Center. Catch the noon show. Then go do something fun in the air. A lot of shopping. Then come back for the 7 o'clock show to see that man. Put on an absolute show. Can't wait to see what happens June 29th. Thanks so much for coming on. You've been listening to Luke Basin for MMA Fancast with the one, the only Khama, the Death Star Worthy. Thanks so much, pal.
Thanks, boss.
You got it, brother.